7:14 on this December 2nd, and I want to welcome to the microphone number 2 our mayor, Joe Dillard.
Good morning, Dale.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
Good.
Beautiful day. Big frost out there this morning, and I know some people may still be getting around slow, but it's a good day to see the sun come up, and we've had these rainy days, and we needed the rain, but and it came good. It actually came slow,
That's
and
good rain.
Did us a lot of good.
Yeah.
But now we're in a different mode here. It sounds like we're going to have pretty weather this week. So
It'll be nice.
Yeah.
I also want to welcome David Lewis to the microphone over here. Is he interning today?
David is doing an internship with the at City Hall, and he's in every other day and doing a good job, and we appreciate him. David, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing good.
Good to have you.
Good to have you with us. It's Dale. It's good to see young people with interest in local government, and these young people. And David's a senior in high school, and I'm going to ask him in a little bit to kind of tell us some of the things he likes to do, and maybe why he's looking at doing an internship at the local level. But I think it's we need young people. They are our future. So, David, won't you share with us a little bit about your activities and why you actually chose to do an internship with us?
Absolutely. I do a lot of things within the high school, and one of these things that I'm able to do, thanks to Mountain Home Career Academies, is every morning I am able to go over to City Hall. And it's one of the things that I look forward to every single week. This opportunity is something that I've been looking forward to for a long time. Now, it's no surprise that the Mountain Home Career Academies does a great job with their internships. But for me specifically, the internship is really an eye-opener for me. It's been many years now that I've had a good interest in both local, state, and national politics, and really to get ideas out there. And what I've learned most in this internship that I've had with Mr. Dillard is that service is what the city does best. And no matter what the city does, its main objective is to serve the people. And as a result, I've been able to learn that, and I'm sure to include that in my later doings as well.
Well, David is he's been a great addition to us, and he's actually become part of the family there at City Hall, and knows everybody on a first name basis. They know him, and so David, we thank you for that interest, and we thank the Academy for setting this up and allowing you to do it. So
good to see young people getting involved.
It is just like Madison. I wanted to say publicly. Madison Plant led the prayer earlier and did a great job from the Christian Academy. And
we were there together last year, Mayor, as you recall, when the governor issued the letters of appreciation to the students.
Yes.
And, what a thrill to see the job that the Mountain Christian Academy is doing.
Well, they do. And, and things don't happen. Someone has to make things happen. And someone took enough interest in this young lady. Her father was here with her, Jeff Plant, and good to meet him, but the Christian Academy and the parents, they're doing a good job.
They really are. Yeah.
I compliment them.
No government intervention, no Common Core, just a good basic Christian education. Doing a great job.
And, that's what it's all about. I don't have anything in particular this morning, just going to talk about several things. First of all, enjoying this Brewed Awakening coffee.
There you go.
It's a good atmosphere here, folks. You out in radio land, you can't see us, but we're sitting here casual and enjoying coffee and enjoying each other's fellowship. But I want to talk a little bit about what's going on with the holiday season. We just went through a major holiday and Black Friday and the shopping, and it was a little damp, but I think the shopping spirit was still there. And but folks, that's what generates a lot of the revenue for city to operate on, city and county to operate on. So encourage people to shop at home and shop with all of our business, small businesses, and it makes a major impact on us.
I want to bring into a point right now, Mayor. You see several lines drawn here on the December's calendar. Mm-hmm. Jerry Hogan and I are working to bring in as many local people on this show that have a family-owned business that we can help, whether they advertise with us or not. Bring them in, let's talk.
You bet.
You know.
Well, what a way. And thank you all and for that that attitude that you have to do that. Because
if they decide, hey, that was pretty good, we'll talk to the sales guy. If it didn't work, whatever. We want to at least give them a chance. And so Jerry Hogan's going to be out and about and visiting with some of our folks and try to get as many locally owned businesses in as we can. They're advertising maybe at one of the other stations or in the paper. That's fine. Love to have them. If not, we're still going to be friends.
Well, sure, yeah. And, and we talked about this a little bit before, but and I think you all display that well, the team spirit. Mm-hmm. In other words, just what you're talking about here. Everybody trying to work together, reach out and help each other, and it's a tough life out there when people are trying to. This morning I got behind the coming up First Street school bus, but you know what really kind of made cold chills? I seen those parents standing out in the cold with their kids, just wanting to make sure they're safe.
Yep.
And bus stopped about 4 times, and in most cases there was parents there, and I just want us all to take our time and be safe. The holiday season's here. The ticket or click it, click it or ticket, I think, is going on at this time or fixing to go on. And our police, our law enforcement people, they want us to slow down and be safe. And we can't enjoy the holidays unless we're here.
That's an interesting discussion we'll have to have sometime. You talk about school buses and seat belts, and I'm a very strong advocate of my choice to wear the belt or not because school buses are not equipped. And not required to be equipped.
They're not required, and and they are our most precious cargo or passengers. There, you might say,
And here's the deal: a lot of folks don't realize we've had some. In fact, Dr. Long will be here on Friday, but our buses travel all the way to the Missouri state line on 3 different highways: 5, 201, and 101, and east over almost into Henderson or past Henderson, yet with no required seatbelts.
Mm-hmm. They go all the way up to Gamaya. I remember when the Gamaya schools actually moved into the Mountain Home system.
We've got one bus that goes up Highway 5, goes into Missouri at 160, turns left, and has to get the kids in northeast Marion County because there's no way to get them from that Ozark Isle area. Mm-hmm. Comes back into Baxter County. That's a long bus ride. No seatbelts.
No seatbelts, and the school people their scheduling people do a good job. Nobody's perfect, but. If you look at the number of miles and the way we're spread out, again, Mountain Home is kind of a hub in the sense that even we're bringing some kids out of Marion County.
Our school buses will total 2,300 miles per day. Once every route is finalized from the early morning pickup to the late afternoon delivery, and the mileages are totaled to average 2,300 miles per day.
Well, a big thanks to those drivers and
for being safe.
For being safe and taking good care of our kids. But getting back to the holidays, of course, Christmas is not very far off, but when Thanksgiving is over,
coming up fast.
That signals time to start putting up our street lights. Our street department's been getting the lights up. I hope people notice it and appreciate it. It's hard work getting those lights up. Taking them down and storing them again for another year. Yep. But it's part of our routine, and if you see people out putting up the lights, again, be careful.
Or if they're out putting up the nativity scene.
Well,
we have a Twin Lakes area nativity scene contest. You can win $1,000. Now, this is for any business that wants to do that. If you need a form, stop by the radio station.
Hey. The court ruled, but the court did not dampen the spirit of the people here in Mountain Home, Baxter County, and we've had several calls, and there's people out there thinking about or wanting to think about peaceful, demonstrations, and our answer to them is, again, don't block streets, don't impede businesses. People being able to get in and out of the businesses, wear bright clothes. Let the police know ahead of time so that they can
file the proper papers,
drive by
permits,
occasionally, but that happens here, and there's no permits required for it. But
oh, really?
No, you don't have to. No permits required, but again, I think it would be a good idea to let the police, sheriff's office know that we're planning to do something, and I'm not proposing that happen, but we've been getting questions on this.
Let's make this suggestion. Rather than protest, let's just put up a nativity scene at our businesses. I disagree with what the federal judge has done. We discussed it with the county judge yesterday, but the thing is like, do we want the flying spaghetti monster statue out there? And literally, we looked it up this morning. There's literally some people out here that want the flying spaghetti monster on the square.
Yeah. Well, it's the case is behind us. The rulings, they're in place, so we had to go forward with it.
Sure.
And
they eliminated one, but we could add, if every business around the courthouse square put one out, either just paint it on the window, put it out on the sidewalk safely in your window. That's what we're going to do. We've got just enough room out here in the lobby. I'm just going to put a small one out here on the window frame.
Yeah. Well, and that's stepping up to the plate and saying, we have the spirit here for Christmas. We have Christ in every day, but in Christmas, so. It's a good thing, and our business will step up to the plate. I'm sure
let's
of
make
that.
it a positive thing. I think a protest could be negative. Let's make it a positive thing.
Well, exactly. If we can turn a negative into a positive, then we've had a good. That's been a good day for us.
But then going back to shopping locally, just that extra shot in the arm. Okay. January through mid-November, we do our regular shopping. Sure, we go buy extra food for Thanksgiving. Now it's the Christmas gifts, the trees, the decorations. But the importance of keeping our local economies stable off this local shopping.
Well, that is a way, if we do that helps keep our tax base down on our real estate taxes and the taxes that we have to pay. But if we go and shop local, that sales tax, the 1 cent city and the 1 cent county, is a major revenue stream coming back into city government and county government. And if we support it, we're supporting in the city. We're supporting our fire, our police, our parks, our water and sewer, and streets. Actually, streets and water are two different entities with restricted money. But the way the sales tax was structured, they get a percent out of the city sales tax. Of course, each city, based on population, gets a percent out of the county tax. So it's a revenue stream, and our revenues has actually been up. You've probably heard that, but it's this year so far, I believe the month of August was down just a little bit, but the month of September was back up. We're 2 months behind. So when you see sales tax figures for for December, or
what's coming in now is October.
It'll be October's money. But I just say a big thanks to the people out there that support us, and because they love to see police cars going up and down the street. They know they've got a good fire department with a ISO rating of 3, which keeps
that's awesome, guys.
Which keeps the
great.
Insurance premiums down. So it's an investment into the community to shop locally.
Mm-hmm. It sure is. Final minute before we go to the news break.
Well,
quick minute.
David, you got anything you want to say that we're doing? I'm doing all the talking. Seems like
that's good.
You're here as a guest, and you feel free to chime in anytime on any of these things.
What have do you see the community working together in various entities?
I do. We have a lot of different organizations in and around Mountain Home, and some of which that I'm a part of. And the thing that makes Mountain Home is that some people say, well, it's a small community, everybody knows everybody because of that. I think that's not necessarily true. Everyone knows everyone because we're involved. And that involvement is really what makes Mountain Home.
Yeah. And, we have, running very short on time, I'll say this, we have a wonderful population of retired folks. I don't like to use the word retire. I like to use the word experienced, and like to see them become involved. We'll hold that thought. We're going to take the news break real quick. We're visiting with David Lewis, who's an intern with the City Mountain Home, and, of course, our mayor, Joe Dillard. More right after this. Stick around. Be right back. .35 on a beautiful December 2nd. The rain is gone. I'm looking at the radar. It's over in East Tennessee, Western North Carolina. Mayor, I want to. We've got a new advertiser. I'm very thrilled to have on Harold Tucker's Auto Parts. We're getting all the stuff processed, but and I don't want to say I'm blowing my own horn. I cut these. Well, come on, theme song, stop. Thank you. Computers, don't you love them?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I brought that fader up. I want you to hear the ad and the subject matter behind it. You know, we're talking about family traditions and stuff. Well, this is Harold's Auto Parts. I'll turn the microphones off so we can hear it in the studio. But this is the newest ad going to start playing.
Family traditions, family values. That describes Harold Tucker's Auto Parts to a T. Now with the fourth generation of the Tucker family serving you at Harold's Auto Parts, they invite you to shop local this Christmas season. Why? Because they still believe in good old-fashioned down-home family values and family traditions. It's still Merry Christmas at Harold Tucker's Auto Parts. They invite you to stop by and see their fine selections for Christmas. Harold Tucker's Auto Parts at 810 South Street, across from Town & Country Grocery in Mountain Home. From Harold Tucker's Auto Parts, Merry Christmas.
That's what it's all about.
Well, it is, and that speaks, 4 generations, their family, and it goes back to what we was talking about a little earlier, to a certain extent. It's all about our small businesses, the values we have, the traditions that they've established here, and not only Harold, but a lot of small businesses have been handed down from one generation to the other. So it's amazing. It's
What I like about going, I'm going to use Harold Tucker's Auto Parts. You walk in among friends. And they're going to bend over backwards to help you.
Well, they've been here, like you said. They I opened in, I believe you said 65.
65, yeah. When Harold Tucker and Gary Tucker started that business,
they've been a major part of the growth of Mountain Home. Actually, the businesses that get in and stay and they do know people on first name basis, and that's important. Your customer base. When I walk in, and if I say "Good morning, Dale," instead of saying "Good morning, sir," it makes you feel better. It makes me feel better. And anyway, thanks for that, sharing that with us. But it is all about values and traditions, and one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit too this morning is we've had some out at Crystal Lillette. I got a call yesterday, and someone went in and kicked out a press box door. Cost the city about roughly around $600, probably to
on
fix
the baseball
it.
or softball.
It was at Crystal Lillette. Billy called me. I didn't go out there. The police was out there doing the investigation, but they'd actually done a job on kicking the door in, and we got to protect. So we had to get someone out and start get another door in, but. This is just a waste of taxpayers' dollars when someone plans or maliciously goes out and destroys public property. So, our police do a good job, and they hopefully will catch whoever this is, and we get restitution from them. But otherwise, we're having to spend taxpayers' dollars to go out and repair something that somebody just intentionally went out and, So, people, please... keep an eye on our family members. Know where your children are, and this may not have been children. This might have been an adult. We don't know, but it's up to all of us to try to. And if you hear anything, give the police a call. We need everybody needs to work together, and we need to stop this kind. It doesn't happen too often, but when it happens, it just reminds us that there is some people out there that want to destroy, and we want to build instead of destroy. and there's a big difference there. About $600 in this particular.
That's a lot of
case.
damage.
Well, it is. They took the whole door and the facings and the where the deadbolt goes in. Everything was. They kicked it in good. So, and what did they get? Nothing that we know of. I mean, it was just damage. So, we ask our people.
See, I don't understand people like that.
I don't know what do they gain from it. I mean, it's just a waste of material, waste of time, waste of money, and other things I want to touch on at McCabe Park, the new park across from the new Harps, is actually we're starting to do some curb work on the streets.
Good.
Going in.
Good.
We'll be doing that street work, and actually it's not open to the public yet as far as the streets are under. The first phase of it is under construction, and it's going to be nice. There's been a lot of work going on. We've had the prisoners out there doing handwork around the ponds.
Really? Yeah.
Game and Fish come out and actually shock the ponds to kind of get an inventory of what's there and what might work, and they've agreed to partnership with us on keeping them stocked.
Good. Catfish ponds?
Well, there'll be catfish and brim, and I would imagine bass, and I don't know what else. It
Wow.
will depend. But I want to see our kids and our seniors too be able to catch some brim or a catfish and take it home with them, and for dinner. That's a tradition here. We're sitting right here in the middle of between two Great Lakes and the White River, the Norfolk River, the Buffalo River, National River, and fishing is a big thing here. So we want to get that set up where we can enjoy. But
with that, let's elaborate a little bit, because what that's going to do. People think, well, why do we need more baseball fields? Here's what happens. You 4 or 5 fields going out there? 4 fields. Just about every weekend from mid-late March through mid-late July, there's going to be tournaments on those fields. And those tournaments are people coming in from out of town, probably more than 100 miles in some instances.
You're exactly right. And
and folks, that is money in the bank. The mayor just talked about the tax stream. Let's see, you said it fell off in August, but it came back up a little bit in September, and now we're looking at October. You're 2 months behind. Okay, when we bring other people in, and they go perhaps to the new Harps for food, and no telling what's going to be built out there next, hopefully a Chick-fil-A or something.
Would be nice.
You get them in the restaurants, you get them in the hotels, you get them in the campgrounds. They're here, and they have to buy supplies.
They're here to enjoy our area, and when people leave home, they usually they make arrangements to have X number of dollars to spend, and when they get here, they're going to spend it. And and again, you can look at those fields as an investment, long term, long range investment back to the city, and the major expenses out there is going to be the lighting and the fencing. There's a lot of other expenses too, but we're still looking for a company or a person or a family to name the facility after. It's McCabe Park and Baker Ponds, but the facility we're looking for someone to step up and name that.
What's your budget on your lights and fencing? Because you have to have lights. You need lights, fencing, scoreboards, press box, probably public address. Where you
need a concession stand and good bathrooms, and that's all fits into the complex or I said the facility. It could be the complex.
Can this be accomplished for $1 million or less?
Yes, we think we got bids on the lights estimates, and it's going to run somewhere in the $400,000.
Well, that's pretty good.
The fencing is the next largest one, and we're looking at a but. In naming if we can get it named, the lights, the fencing, the scoreboards, and we've had interest in some of the banks and businesses saying somewhere down the line if we need a scoreboard or maybe a set of bleachers or something. I think, I know people will step up to the plate and want to become part of it. And once we get it developed, Dale, to we're not there yet, but where we can actually get this first road built where people can get in to see. Now, we're not going to build the second phase until we get work done, and because we're going to be crossing the ponds. The second phase will actually be going between two of the ponds, but it's going to be a beautiful setting, and people are going to be proud of it once they can be able to get in. And I think that's when we will actually start getting some donations, when people can see the potential that's there and what it's going to do for the community.
Mm-hmm.
But we're doing so that's a start out there. Another thing we need to visit about, doggone it, the leaves are pretty much off now, but
let's do that. Let me take this quick break that gives us more time to close out without interruption. We're going to take a quick break. More with the mayor right after this. 7:47. Continue with the mayor. Now you want to talk about some leaves?
Yeah, we started, but with this major rains we've had and then some pretty good winds, well, the trees are, I don't know what percentage, but most of the leaves are off, and on most of the trees seems like, but. You know where they're at? They're still on the ground, and they're on the streets, they're in the curbs, and people are trying to deal with them. And we just ask consideration. I know our big sweeper, big vacuum truck, before this last predicted rain, they came out and actually vacuumed about a foot wide in a lot of the areas so the water could get to the intakes, and it worked. The rain came slow, and that was a big help.
Well, this is the reason, though, that we're not supposed to burn leaves in the ditch and to keep the ditchways clean.
Exactly. And when people do their lawns, it'd be nice, and most of them do, is to blow the leaves or get the leaves back into the yard and mulch them or remove them along with all the yard leaves. That's just a big plus for the city. It makes the streets look nicer. It gives the water a good path. These leaves, once they get wet and clogged up,
I've mulched 3 times in my yard, and this week, hopefully with this sunlight, we get some good drying activity.
Well, you know what we're talking about,
raking,
don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, we all do, because the leaves. If you don't have trees, you're going to have leaves, because someone close is going to have trees, or the wind's going to blow them in. So. It's something we all have to deal with. And
every time I mulch leaves and I get out near my ditch line, which goes out to the road, I think, boy, I hope the mayor ain't looking. Because what I have to do to clean my ditch is I have to blow them in the road first and clean the ditch, then go back and get them off the road back. And after I make 2 or 3 passes, then they're finally.
Well, you know what? And a lot of people do it that way, and that's good, as long as we have to do it however we're set up to do it with. But Dale, too, we're right in the middle of deer season here, and the deer season I believe, ends this Sunday, and then there's a couple more seasons. There's another muzzleloading season.
What are we, Zone 3?
We're in Zone 3, yes, sir. And I want to just remind the hunters out there that the Arkansas Hunters Feeding the Hungry is an organization that actually pays the processing plants at least a certain amount of money to process deer that people don't want. Now, if the hunter gets out and kills a deer and wants it for food or for their family, that's good, and that's the way it should be. But if the hunter kills a deer and don't actually need the meat, they can take it to the processing plant, Twin Lakes Packing here in Baxter County, and there's in Boone County, I believe it's Newton's Processing, and Stone County, Mountain View Custom Butchering. Fulton County, I think it's Burke's Custom Butchering. But anyway, a hunter can take that meat, and the processing plant will clean the deer, process it, and grind it, and freeze it. And this food goes back then to the food bank to be distributed, and it's a great protein. And a lot of the food that we get is low or you don't get a lot of protein. This is something that's really good. Mm-hmm. And if you look at it out there coming from the wild and not being fed, it's actually like organic. We hear of organic turkeys and chickens, and I know I hear Jack Clayton
walked in the
advertising his turkey. Well, the deer and the hunters can actually help with this when they purchase their license. They can donate from $1 to $5 or $10 when they purchase a license to go towards.
That's great.
It's a great program.
You're talking about Deer Zone 3. We're in Deer Zone 3, and
Yes,
real
sir.
quick to recap this, archery is through February 29th of 2016. Muzzleloader, December 12th, 13th, and 14th. Modern Gun ends on December 6th. And then also Modern Gun opens up December 26, 27, and 28.
3 days after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So there's
And
still
that's the 2015-16 hunting guide from Game and Fish.
there's a lot of opportunity, and anybody can actually a hunter. The limit is 6 deer in Arkansas.
Wow. You can fill a couple freezers.
$2, but you have to kill. You can kill 4 in one zone. Then you have to kill the other 2 out of another zone, which, like in Marion County, anything south of 62-412 is Zone 2. Anything north is Zone 3. So we have different zones here handy. But
You can hunt north side of the highway and then go to the
Well,
south side.
Well, yeah, exactly, and that's what a lot of people do. But I just wanted to remind our hunting friends out there: if you kill a deer or get a deer and don't need it all or don't want it all, then donate it to the Arkansas Hunters Feeding the Hungry. You're actually donating back to the food bank, and an average deer, 50 pound of meat, if it's all ground up, is approximately 200 servings or 200 servings, meal servings.
Really?
Yes, and a very good food. So that's how we can help each other. But I wanted to remind the hunters this morning.
Say that again now. 50 pounds. I'm making notes here. 50 pounds equals 200 servings. Is that
200 servings. Yes. And then some of the some of the cities have the first deer killed in those city hunts or urban hunts has to be donated back to the the program that we're just talked about here, the Arkansas Hunters Feeding the Hungry. So, the Arkansas Hunters Feeding the Hungry, they raise about $75,000, or they need to raise that much a year in order to pay. That money goes back in to pay the processors, and I'm sure the processors donate some of their time and labor to this too. So, big thank you out there to them. It's a great program.
Down to 2 minutes before we end the program. What do we need to cover that we have not?
Well, we've been bouncing around all over the place this morning, visiting. But this is a good way to do it. I just feel that we're very, very fortunate people to live in the area that we live in, and that we're blessed daily, and we need to stop and smell the roses as we go. And just like this morning, we've had fun here.
We have,
and
it's always good to have you in here.
And everything that we do in life, we need to enjoy it to the best that we can. And there's some things, sickness and things like that, it's hard to enjoy. But again, if you can turn a negative into a positive, then to me that's a big plus. But I'd just like to take this opportunity to wish all the people in Mountain Home and actually in the Baxter County and our listening area a good holiday to you and your families, and let's enjoy the holidays. Let's be safe. Christmas trees, and I know we had fire people in earlier and talking about some of the dangers that's associated with the lights and the trees and the things. So let's be safe and be here to enjoy New Year's and a lot of football coming up the latter part of this month. A lot of bowl games, and kind of proud of the Razorbacks for finishing their season and hopefully go into a good bowl game.
That'd be fun. And then concerning on the nativity scene, the court has ruled. Let's move on. Let's be peaceful, positive, and show a Christ-like spirit there.
Exactly, and that's I think you said it well there. And the small businesses can pick this up, and all the businesses, not just small business, but have their own scene, and we can show the spirit.
We sure can.
Yeah, I'd like to say to David Lewis again, thank him for being here and for his interest in local government and doing his internship with us.
That wraps it up. Thanks to Mayor Dillard for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you have a wonderful day, everybody. We'll see you later.